If you know when things are slow, if you know when you are more effective and more concentrated, that maybe you take advantage of that. And here's the key, you take off when things are busier.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast.
Minisode.
Good morning, everyone. This recording is being done on a Monday. I'll even tell you what day it is. It's a holiday. It is Columbus Day. And I want to talk to you a little bit about timing, a little bit about your planning, a little about your on it, not in it time, but I want to pause here first, remind you of ANow software. Folks, one of the things that I did this morning was jump into ANow software and just see where we're at for the month. It is the 11th of the month, and I just kind of wanted to see where we're at. Guess what? We're a fourth of the way to our goal, which means we're on track to have another great month. I knew that in about 7 seconds using ANow software. You can learn more by going to anow.com. That's ANOW.com. Folks, I don't know if you've ever noticed this. I have. That I get more done when the office is closed. I get more done in the mornings. I get more done on the weekends. I get more done on the holidays. Now, I want to make it very clear up front. I am not in any way recommending, suggesting that you sacrifice your holidays, weekends, evenings, mornings based on the principle that I'm about to teach. But I am suggesting that maybe a little more consideration might go into the planning of your day. A little more might go into the planning of you as a business owner. One of the things that I did years ago was I started taking Fridays off. Now, I'll be honest with you, the last couple of years, I've allowed a little bit to creep back into my life on Friday, but it still is not bad. I probably work about maybe 2 hours, and I think that's being generous. It's probably less than that. Maybe 2 hours actual work on the appraisal business on Fridays. Most of my day is spent doing things around the house. Friday is a great day for me to keep up on the lawn and the garden and the honeydews and the projects that I've started, tinkering with my motorcycles, whatever's on the list of things to do, that seems to fall on my Friday. I do allow a little bit of computer work to creep in there on Friday, but for the most part, I've allowed myself to take that day off. Now, I can tell you that before this big boom, before we had this explosion in volume, that I was strict on my Fridays, so much so that my office staff was aware of this. I put it on the calendar in big red letters, Dustin off today, please do not bother unless an emergency. And for the most part, they kept to that. There were times that I had to train a few people and help them to understand what that big red block meant. But usually only happened once, and then they understood. And I took that very, very seriously. Again, due to the volume, I've made a conscious choice. Well, is that true? Let's be honest, it's not been a conscious choice. It's been an unconscious allowance to allow that to creep in. That big red block is no longer there. It does say Dustin off, but it's not as big a deal as it has been in the past. I found that that's okay. A couple hours on Friday, not a big deal. The reason I bring up Fridays is to let you know that I found that amazing things can happen when you plan ahead, meaning I found that Fridays were a great day to go out and about and do things that I want to do and not have to deal with the crowds that you typically see on the weekends. In other words, it's common knowledge that most people work Monday through Friday. Because that's common knowledge, it's also common knowledge that Saturday and Sunday are very, very busy days out in the outdoors, at the stores, around town. That's when people get their crap done. I almost said something else. That's when they get their CRAP, their crap done. And you're competing with everybody else. I try to avoid the stores on Saturday, to be honest with you. And now in my area, Sunday is not a big deal for shopping. It's becoming more so, but it hasn't been in the past. So that hasn't been that big of a deal. But being out and about in the wilderness, you'll find that there are, 3 to 4 times the people out there. Now, it's a big area, right? It's a big playground where I live. And so it's not like I'm bumping into people. But you definitely notice a difference when you go to a parking lot where you're going to unload your snowmobiles or your motorcycles. When you go to the ski hill is open all the time, every day, right? Why do we wait till Saturday to go to the ski hill when everybody else is there? The point is this, folks. As a business owner, you have the choice. You have the choice. You can make that choice. Many people in my mastermind groups have made that choice to take Mondays off, Wednesdays off, Fridays off, whatever, but something other than the weekend. Now, does that mean that they work the weekend? Sometimes. But folks, think about it this way. What if you worked every Saturday, but you didn't work Tuesday? right? What would change in your life if that were a decision that you make? Now, maybe nothing, right? Maybe that doesn't appeal to you. But there is a principle at stake, and I've recognized it this morning, and the reason that I'm on the microphone this morning is I recognized how wonderful my day has been so far. And I'm going to take you through my day in just a moment and just share with you a few things that I'm hoping you can pick up as lessons learned, as some things that you might be able to decide for yourself as a business owner, because I really believe, and I see this all the time, we work hard to have the things that we have, and then we don't take advantage of them. What I mean by that is there's a reason you decided to be self-employed. There's a reason that you're a small business owner. There's a reason that you don't go to a factory and punch your ticket every day. Now, there's nothing wrong with going to a factory and punching a ticket, but it's a different way to live. That Monday through Friday idea of punching in and punching out and getting paid for the time that you exchange is a very real thing in the world. A majority of people, that's how they do their lives. You've chosen something different. There's a reason that you've chosen something different. My question is, are you taking advantage of the reason that you chose this? I want to pause here, remind you of ANow software. Again, one of the things that I did this morning was to check on my business. I do that often. In ANow software, there's a tab called Analytics, and you simply go into ANow software. It opens up to the orders. These are the active orders that you have going, so at a glance, you can see where everything is, where they're at along the assembly line. But you just have to simply take your mouse, click on Analytics, and you can immediately get the last 3 months of analytics. How many orders have you done? What type of gross did you make? How many have been paid on, and what's left out there billing, right? You can quickly change that to the current month, which is what I do often because I have a monthly nut, right? I have a monthly goal in mind, a number that I need to hit each month that I know, okay, this is where I'm comfortable. This is where I can pay all my bills, put a little away for a rainy day, and be able to live the lifestyle that Dustin Harris has chosen to live. I know what that monthly nut is. I'm not going to share it with you. I do share it with my dream team and my all-star team. I'm not going to share it with you here. But there is a monthly nut that I need to hit each and every month. And so it's great on the 10th of the month, right? And I misspoke, by the way, in the beginning when I said that I'm 4th of the way through the month. I'm actually a 3rd of the way through the month, right? Which on the 10th or 11th is right where I need to be with a 30-day month. It's perfect for where I need to be at the end of the month. In fact, I'm a little bit higher than I need to be. I knew that within about 7 seconds. ANow software is where it's at, ANOW.com. And by the way, you can get 30% off. Okay, speaking of a third, you can get almost a third off for the first 3 months, lots of threes here, if you go to ANow.com and type podcast 30 as a coupon code. Welcome back to the program, everybody. One of the things that I often have discussions with when you are doing personal one-on-one coaching with me is we talk about your vision. We talk about your why. We talk about, one of the things I ask is, why did you become an appraiser in the first place? And often people say, well, it just kind of happened. I just kind of fell into it. Okay, that's fine. That's great. But let's talk through that, right? You still at some point made a choice. You still at some point said, yeah, this is for me. I'm going to move forward with this. I may have fallen into it, but this is what I want to do the rest of my life. Let's talk about that moment, and let's talk about the why behind that moment. 9 times out of 10, one of the things that people bring up is I wanted to have the freedom to make my own schedule. This is an often occurring explanation for why people go into business by themselves, or for themselves rather. Now, my question for you, and I want you to take this seriously. If you're driving down the road, you don't need to pull over, but I do want you to contemplate this. Pay attention, right? Pay attention. Don't get in a wreck. But I want you to honestly answer this question. Have you fulfilled that why? If one of the reasons that you went into business for yourself was to have more time or flexibility or freedom of your time, do you take advantage of that regularly? Or are you like everybody else and you kind of just let life happen to you? Folks, we all do. But to what level? Are you harnessing the power that you have as a business owner to control and make your own schedule? Now, one of the things that I have noticed is that there are certain times that you can kind of plan for. There's certain things, it's not just a fluke that I came into the office this morning and had so much time to just be myself. It was wonderful. It was fabulous. I got up this morning and I did my prime time. I talk about prime time in my Go Create Some Value workshop, which you can find on my website. And we go into detail about what my prime time looks like. It took me a little over an hour this morning to do prime time. Normally it takes about 30 to 45 minutes. I really took my time this morning. And then I got out of bed and I got dressed for the day and I went to a coffee shop and I had a little breakfast and it was just me and my phone and my hot beverage and my sandwich, and it was nice. And I didn't feel rushed. I didn't feel like I had an appointment to get to. I planned no coaching calls today. Today is Monday. Typically, that's a very busy day when it comes to coaching calls and catching up from the weekend and everything else. But today, again, is a holiday. It's Columbus Day. And we decided to shut down the office today. I know a lot of appraisers did not. We did. We shut down the office today. And as I look, I have 6 emails right now in front of me in the inbox. 3 of them are leftovers from last week. Things that I didn't quite get to and I snoozed until this morning. 3 of them came from the office. 2 of them can be taken care of in about, 15 seconds. Another one is a review of a report that just got finished by one of my contractors over the weekend. That will take probably 15, 20 minutes to review, and that's it. That's all I have today. I was able to work on my business, not in my business this morning. When I got to the office after my prime time, after my breakfast, I did my on it, not in it time. On it, not in it. That's working on your business, not in your business. And I spent about 45 minutes on my appraisal office business. And then I spent another, 25 minutes on my coaching business. And this is just time for me to shut down the internet, shut down the email, shut down the notifications, and just focus on what I can do to improve my business. One of the things that I thought through is I'm making some big changes with my procedural manual right now. And so I thought through, what does that look like? And I fired off an email to somebody who's designing it for me. And I said, I want to see this, and I want to see that, and I want to see this, right? These are things that I knew I needed to do, but often the world gets in the way. Often the business gets in the way. Often I am inundated with different things to do. WhatsApp messages, phone calls, emails, you name it, because I'm the business owner. I'm the buck stops here guy. I knew that on a holiday, I wouldn't have that. Now, many times on a holiday, say Labor Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July, you name it, right? I'm going to take that day off as well. I'm going to be with my family. We're going to be doing different things. My wife and kids were doing school today. No reason for me to stay home and twiddle my thumbs, right? It made sense for me to come to work, but I can't tell you how refreshing it is to be able to just be myself, to get things done. Now, what's the lesson? The lesson is that years ago, you decided that you wanted to be your small business owner, a small business owner. I'm guessing that one of the reasons you wanted to be a small business owner was because you wanted the freedom of timing. You wanted the freedom of schedule. You wanted to make your own schedule, as they say. My question is, are you? Are you doing that? I know that my office manager comes in early and she gets most of the emails taken care of before anybody else even logs in. She does that on a regular basis. Why? Because she knows she can. She knows she's not going to be bothered and inundated by things from the office. If you know these things, if you know that the stores are busy on Saturday, if you know that holidays, bank holidays are a time that you might be able to get a little bit more done, if you know that early mornings or late evenings work well for you, can you plan around that? Now, again, I want to make it abundantly clear as we close up today. I'm not saying that you add that. Right? I'm not saying that you work a 40-hour week and then you work Sunday morning. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you work a 40-hour week and you also come in early every morning for another 2 hours and that you add, another 10 hours on top of that? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you know when things are slow, if you know when you are more effective and more concentrated, that maybe you take advantage of that. And here's the key, you take off when things are busier. All right, folks, if you want to learn more about this and other things, I encourage you to be a part of our All-Star Team. What is the All-Star Team? Well, the All-Star Team is the opportunity for you to, first of all, and probably most importantly, interact with appraisers across the nation, myself included, my dream team included. All of my dream team are part of the All-Star Team. It is a monthly interactive webinar/meeting where you can be coached online, no extra cost. It's also a wonderful and highly enriching newsletter that comes out every single month, both in the print version and the audio version, so you can listen to it while you're driving around doing those lovely comp photos, right? And it's a wonderful private Facebook group where nobody's going to ask questions if you ask a quote-unquote dumb question, right? We're going to be there to help you and to support you and to strengthen you. I encourage you to be a part of this great team. It's only $49 a month. Trust me, folks, you will get far more value out of it than you're putting into it. It is the All-Star Team. You can find out more at theappraisercoach.com.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star Team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.